Welcome to this session on conducting a compliance evaluation audit. In this presentation, we will guide you through key stages of the compliance audit process, focusing on analyzing evaluation data, discussing findings with stakeholders, and preparing comprehensive reports. These steps are essential for ensuring organizations maintain compliance with relevant standards and regulations. After collecting data, the first step is to analyze it based on the established evaluation plan. This plan should outline evaluation criteria. What are the key compliance factors? Data sources. Where did the information come from? Records, interviews, or observations? Methodology. How will you process the data? Statistical methods, benchmarking, or qualitative analysis. When analyzing the data, ensure that the methods align with the objectives of the compliance evaluation. Any discrepancies or patterns emerging from the data should be clearly identified and documented. This analysis will form the foundation for discussions and decision-making later in the audit process. Once the data analysis is complete, it's important to engage with stakeholders to present the outcomes and preliminary findings. Relevant stakeholders may include compliance officers, department heads, and operational staff. In these discussions, clearly explain the methods used in the analysis. Highlight key findings, both positive and areas of concern. Encourage feedback and insights from stakeholders who may provide additional context or information regarding specific compliance areas. The goal of this step is to ensure transparency and foster collaboration before moving forward with recommendations. Building on the initial discussion, develop preliminary findings that summarize the compliance status. This is the stage where any non-conformities, risks, or gaps in compliance should be highlighted. When presenting these findings, keep the following in mind. Use evidence from your analysis to support your conclusions. Focus on issues that are most critical to compliance. Communicate potential impacts on the organization if these issues are not addressed. During stakeholder discussions, some issues may require further investigation. You may need to collect additional data to clarify certain aspects, such as discrepancies in records or missing documentation. Be proactive in sourcing this information to ensure that findings are as accurate and thorough as possible. Once the issues are clear, the next step is to develop recommendations. These should focus on corrective actions. What steps can the organization take to fix compliance gaps? Preventive measures. How can the organization ensure these issues don't reoccur? Timeline. Provide a realistic timeline for implementation of the actions. Your recommendations should be practical, achievable, and aligned with the organization's resources and priorities. Now that the analysis and discussions are complete, it's time to create a draft report. The report should include summary of findings, a concise overview of the compliance status, detailed analysis, a breakdown of the data highlighting key points, recommendations, suggested actions for improvement with justifications. Once drafted, circulate the report to stakeholders. Allow sufficient time for them to review the findings and provide feedback. This ensures that the report is accurate and considers all relevant perspectives. Based on the feedback, make any necessary edits to the report. This could involve clarifying ambiguous points, adjusting the recommendations to better suit the organization's context, ensuring all critical feedback has been addressed. Before finalizing the report, conduct a thorough proofreading. Check for clarity. Are the findings and recommendations clear and easy to understand? Consistency. Are terms and references consistent throughout the document? Accuracy. Double-check all data and facts to ensure accuracy. Ensure that the report is signed off by the appropriate authorized personnel before distribution. This might be the compliance officer, legal advisor, or senior management, depending on the organization's structure. Finally, distribute the final report according to the evaluation plan. This could involve sending digital copies, presenting the report at a formal meeting, or publishing it on an internal compliance platform. Ensure that all stakeholders receive the report and that it reaches the correct recipients. In this session, we have walked through the key steps of a compliance evaluation audit, from analyzing data and discussing findings, to drafting, editing, and distributing the final report. By following these steps carefully, organizations can ensure they meet compliance requirements and address any gaps efficiently. Remember, a successful compliance audit not only identifies issues, but also provides clear, actionable recommendations to drive improvement. Thank you for your attention.